So you're going to share this screen. Okay, welcome back to our weekly analysis, weekly biases, and also checking on the results of our, we have one person, okay, and also checking on the results of our previous weekly analysis on the USDCHF, which happens to play out perfectly. So one we are going to start with is we are going to see on how it played out and what we were really looking at, and the biases, or how we came up with the biases on why the price is going to move in a certain direction. Those who checked the previous video, you will see how I analyzed, and you will see the biases on or the conclusion, and why I made those, or why I made the conclusions. Now the strategy is so simple. I'm not using a complicated strategy. It's just a very simple strategy that I've tried mastering it. I've tried crafting it over the previous few years that I've been in the space. So far, it's been a journey, and all I believe is there's still a long way to go, and we're still hoping for the same, and we're still hoping for the best for the future. So what we're going to look at is the USDCHF. We have several other pairs that we looked at in between the week. One of them was the AUD, or the Euro AUD, which has been my favorite pair so far. The second favorite pair has been the USDCHF. The next pair has been the AUDCHF, the AUD USD, Euro USD, and finally the gold. Now, previously or lately, I've been really checking into the US 30. That is an indices, or those are indices. Previously, we've been looking on the currency pairs and the metals, but now we are keeping into the indices. So this is the US 30. That is an index. Those are indices. This is the Nasdaq, or the Nas 100. Or if you see something wrote here at the top, when you see something wrote the US 100, that is just the same as the Nasdaq, or the Nas 100. I've been also checking on some cryptocurrencies. One of them has been the Worldcoin. It's because I just wanted to invest, and I'm seeing some projection to the downside, but based on the previous projection. So this is a cryptocurrency. It's not in a stable form. It's been affected by so many controversies from the owner, or from the owner. That is the CEO of the OpenAI, the ChatGPT, who is the owner of the, or who created Worldcoin cryptocurrency. So quickly, let's go back and see how we performed on the USD CHF, which actually we performed so nicely. So this is the chart, and this is how we analyze. And let's see. Let's go direct into it. Now, I think we are going to start with the weekly time frame. We're going to start with the weekly time frame and the biases of the weekly time frame. How we came up with the biases. Currently, I have so many drawings which is going to interfere with the chart, or which is going to interfere with the analysis. So quickly, let me delete them. Let me delete them. Okay. Mhm. Now we have some few writings here, so of course you are going to really delete them. So let's make some few deletion. Now this is the weekly time frame, and of course this has been our week. And this week the market has not been so much aggressive despite despite the news. That was the CPI, the PPI, and so forth. The US news. We also had the NZD, the New Zealand dollar news, which was also really badly affected by the news. Now, let's say the weekly time frame. So this is last week, and what we are going to do here, we are going to check on the how many pips did we move this week. So last week we moved around 99 pips, very good. Not really volatile because as compared to the GJ, which can move up to 150 pips a day, but of course there's difference in there's also a difference in when you compare the GJ and the USDCHF. You'll find that one pip in a USDCHF will give you almost double the same amount, or will it give you almost double the amount one pip of a GJ will give you. So still, that's also a factor. Now, that is 83 pips this week, so not badly off. So let's see. Um, the USDCHF has been trending in an uptrend, or has been bullish for quite a while. I think since January. Yeah, since January we've been trending bullish. Then at this point we we broke the structure, or we broke the trend. So we've been trending in a bullish direction for the past 4 5 months. Okay, let's see. And then here we broke the structure, and when you see here, it fails to make a higher high. So that means you are breaking the structure and you are now moving in a downward direction. We are changing from bullish to bearish. We broke the structure from this point, and this is the structure that I drew. And then we tested this area, but again, you can see it clearly is that we failed to make a high, and we are at a point of interest, a very strong area of interest, which we are going to look at it based on past, or based on the history. Let me not call it past. Then, of course, we have tested this area. Now, once we broke this structure, I anticipated the price must retrace, because when you see this, we had not seen any green candle or any bullish candle until we found this. So what I anticipated from this is that we are going to make a few retracements, retrace this area of interest, and then we'll still go, or we'll move in our favor, or we'll continue in the bearish trend. So this is where we are at the moment. So let's check it out quickly and see. Of course, we were trending bullish, and then we created some rejection to the upside. We broke the structure, we retested this area again, and then we moved down. So it was so simple. Now, uh, actually, the reason why we are not at this point is because I've been marking only the full bodied candles. So one thing that I'm going to do, or that we are going to do, is now to go to what, or to check on how we analyze this market. So I anticipated that this price will test this area from this point, and it will test it really well. And you know what? It gave us a 1 to 4, a quick 1 to 4. There's no much news, so it was just based on the supply and demand from the buyers and the sellers. Now, um, another thing that we're going to look at from this point is now for this week, we see how it played out. My analysis was made on Sunday, and kuna noise mahali. There are some disturbance of which I don't think I think it's going to affect us so much, but we'll bear with them. And maybe next time I'll check for a place that is more silent. Now I love this place because of the serene environment. Outside is cool, with the cool air condition. This is Nairobi, and currently we are experiencing some Nairobi winter now. Mhm. Now let's go down to the daily time frame and see how the price of the trade played out. Now I recently anticipated, after we made this trade and we successfully traded this last week. I anticipated for a pullback to this area, and it was going to be rejected from this area. You see this daily high, the previous daily high. So I anticipated that this daily high is going to be a probable position where we are going to reject uh, our next lower high. Yeah, our next lower high. So of course we rejected from this point, and this is what I drew. When you see it very clearly, this is what I drew. Sorry. So let me delete this. Sorry. This is what I drew. Now it happened to play out perfectly, but there was a little bit of confusion from this point. It was after the rejection. So one thing that I waited for was the formation of a bullish engulfing from the daily time frame, which never activated. But when you come down to the 4 hour time frame, you will find out exactly that this thing really played out. Because let's see, we formed an uptrend. We formed a series of lower high, lower low. But remember, the general market direction, when we look at with okay, when we analyze from our top-down analysis or the 66% rule, the 66% of the market is moving downward. So we are not going to trade against the trend. So we form of lower lows and the higher highs and higher lows, which signifies an uptrend. But remember, from our weekly and daily perspective, we are in a downtrend. So you aren't going to trade against the trend when the general market direction is bearish. So you're not going to go you're not going to go bullish. So from this point, you can see it clearly. It was prior to news, and I've never traded news before. But there's something that I've really realized with news is that it always follows the technical part or the technical analysis. So whatever you have analyzed technically is always going to be respected by the news. So let's remove that. It's always going to be respected by the news. So it was after the formation of this engulfing bearish candle or the humongous candlestick, which engulfed the previous almost 4 candlesticks, which signified to me that this is now a continuation pattern or a continuation trend. The price is now willing to move in a downward direction. So this is when I ended a trade after the retracement. It was immediately after the closure of this bearish and calving candle. I made an entry from this point, and then boom, immediately there was a sharp downtrend, which was caused by the news. It was it was it was very simple. This one gave me a 1 to 4.01, which is very nice. So that was, or this was our weekly, or this was our analysis from the previous week. And one thing that I've really learned from this point is that uh, January this year, I was so skeptical about my analysis. I could make an analysis and then hesitant. I mean, I'm so hesitant to take a trade because I still believe that I can make an analysis that can go the right way. Previously, you can let's check history. Let's check the history. This point, I made an analysis and we secured a 1 to 4. This one is secured a one. Actually, I closed the trade here. So this was I closed the trade here. It gave us a 1 to 5. I want to 5 RR. That is the risk reward. I tried rendering a bullish move from this point, but the market had other plans. I think actually it was going to test the previous. It was going to retest the previous demand that created a push to the upside. So it tested from this point. Actually, I lost this trade. I re-entered a trade the next day, and we made a very nice 1 to 4.49 risk reward. I again entered this trade from this point. So this is 1 2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 trades. Now I ended again this trade from this point because I believe that this price must retest this area so that you can continue with a bearish move from actually from the daily and the weekly time frame. So I ended again this trade. It gave us a pretty nice, no, okay. I ended this trade and I got out from this point. It gave us 123.44 risk reward. Now I previously anticipated because this line I drew it from this point actually before this price even moved upwards, and you can see how it really followed it to perfection, which is something that is giving me so much confidence. Uh, which is something that is giving me so much confidence. Now this trade never activated. Let's zoom in and see how. Let's zoom in. So I anticipated that this is going to be the area of supply that we're going to take a trade, that we're going to end another trade, which didn't activate, but we got a trade anyway. So we waited for a retest of this small. You can see how this is coming and turning into bearish move because we have seen the humongous. When you can see this, when you see this from the daily time frame, it really tells you exactly what. It really tells you that we are now turning into a bearish move and it's a trend continuation. So we tested this area. I ended again this trade from this point. Then the rest is history. Although I got off this trade from this point, thinking and got there, like didn't wait to hit my target. Of course, when if I could have waited to hit my target, of course, still I could have achieved 1 to 4. So I got off this point, and that was one at 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now this was the last week analysis, and it gave a 1 to 4.01, which is pretty nice. I tried rendering this trade from this point, but I really anticipated that. Now, when you check on the daily time frame, I expected this candlestick, that the previous day or the Thursday candlestick, to close below this area, to close below this swing low, the daily swing low. But once the price closed above this area, I anticipated that price is going to move in a bullish direction. So there was news, but I really waited for some confirmation because I have a group chat. With, I think I'm going to share it out. I have a group chat. I'm going to see how it really played out. So you have a group chat. I anticipated that this price is going to break past this area before we retest this same point to go up. And these are the rules that I've really come up with, which have been effective. Now the first thing that I anticipated is I could have waited on a 1 hour time frame for a bullish and calving candlestick from this point because I wanted to make some re-entry. I could have waited for an entry from this point, not an entry, but a confirmation that this price is going to go in a bullish direction. But it never happened. We intended, we definitely went down, and actually this was due to dollar depreciating or losing so much value, and against the CHF. So the CHF gained more strength against the US dollar. Um, hmm. So this has been our weekly analysis. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for subscribing. You may continue to subscribe so that I'll be sharing some weekly content, and very soon I'll be coming up with the content that deals purposely with the strategy that I use into catching these big fishes. We are going to see it from the top down analysis, which is identifying the trend. The next is identifying the area of interest. From identifying the area of interest, identifying the confirmation and the entry signal. So those are the three things that we are going to be looking at in this coming week. So from now, we are going to create some few contents, the new content, like the content that I'll be creating now is analyzing on Sundays or maybe Saturdays, and then coming back the next week and checking on the results, which will really show you that this thing is a legit form of trading. Because maybe I'll be showing you the results without the analysis, which will make you into doubting that we are not making good results or I'm manipulating the so of course we've checked it out and see you tomorrow. Yeah, actually tomorrow I'm going to make some new analysis on the new we're going to check on the new on this CHF, and then I'm going to add on some other few things. I'm going to add on the indices that I talked before we started this video. I'm going to add the gold analysis and also the AUD CHF, not AUD, AUD Euro AUD. I mean. So thank you and God bless you.